Are we live, man? Okay. Welcome to the Deezyii Report. Don't you know I love haters? Love you bastards. Love you bastards. Now, reporters hid a tracking device in shoes that were supposed to be recycled and they ended up at a market in Indonesia instead. Reuters tracked 11 pairs of donated shoes to test a recycling program launched by Dow in Singapore. Most landed in markets or remote areas in Indonesia, which banned used apparel imports in 2015. Dow launched its own investigation and removed an exporter from the recycling program. In 2021, the U.S. chemical company Dow and Singapore's government promised to transform the rubber from old shoes into playground and running track surfaces. That's not what happened to 11 pairs of sneakers in which a team of Reuters reporters hid tracking devices after dropping the shoes in the program's recycling bins across Singapore. Reuters traced most of the shoes to secondhand markets or remote locations in Indonesia. The news surface concealed Bluetooth trackers in the interior soles of the sneakers and then followed the shoes for months on a smartphone app that showed their movements in real time. Reuters reported that it wanted to test whether Dow's programs was achieving its stated goals because the major plastic maker had fallen short on previous recycling promises. Environmental groups accuse chemical companies like Dow of making false promises about recycling plastics to convince the public that throwaway consumer culture is sustainable, as well as to fend off stricter regulations on items like single use plastic packaging. Dow completed its own investigation with other sponsors of the program after Reuters reported its findings. As part of its inquiry, Dow removed a secondhand goods exporter in Singapore, York, Impex Pte Ltd, from the program. The logistics manager of the exporter told Reuters it had been hired to retrieve shoes from donation bins and deliver them to a waste management company involved in the shoe recycling program. Instead, 10 pairs were moved to the exporter's own facilities and then on to Indonesia, which neighbors Singapore. The logistics manager said it was a mistake. Dow did not explain to Reuters why a used clothing exporter was hired for the program in the first place. Excuse me. Nor did it disclose how many shoes had been collected and recycled in the program. A 2021 media release said the program aimed to divert 170,000 pairs of shoes annually from landfills. The company told Reuters the shoes recycling program was making progress, citing two sports facilities under construction in Singapore set to use old shoe material in its surface. The project partners do not condone any unauthorized removal or export of shoes collected through this program. Kyle Banlow, a spokesperson for Dow, told Insider in an email. He added that Dow and his partners in the program are working to find another company to handle the collection of the shoes. Banlow also said that the program has recovered nearly 10,000 kilograms or about 22,000 pounds of recycled shoe material. Indonesia in 2015 banned the import of used clothing and footwear to help protect its local textile industry and safeguard public hygiene, but an illegal secondhand market still proliferates, Reuters found, adding to the country's mounting garbage problem. A small percentage of used clothing can get a second life, while the rest ends up in landfills, according to the Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives, a nonprofit that advocates for preventing waste. So, the moral of the story is they can hide trackers in anything that you do. So that's why you got to be careful where you're at, where you're going, and all that type of stuff. But they basically, they were taking the shoes and re-putting them out there. But they weren't making them into, playground or running track surfaces. They just start moving them around. So when they put the Bluetooth in there, they were able to track it to where it was going. So they were basically making a false comment, false statement, trying to say, oh, well, we're taking it, we're going to recycle it and stuff. And they weren't doing it. They were just pushing it to their other stores to sell it, probably at a price that's unknown or a price that would benefit their company. People saying that, oh, they're going to recycle this stuff, but they're actually doing it differently. They're just putting it in different places, putting it in other places in Singapore and moving it. And it's like, wow. So you know what they had to do? They had to go find out. So that's how they were getting more of their profits. When it was supposed to be recycled, but they did like everybody else does. They lied. That's nothing new. So now they're getting punished for making that story up and practically lying to the people who were donating the shoes, or they were putting it in the recycle bin thinking it's for a good cause. And this is why I tell people you have to do your own research when you're giving stuff away, because you don't know what people are doing. People don't have the same intentions that you have. They don't. Now, they're trying to say it was a mistake, but I'm not buying that crap. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to get some extra profits because, see, what they do is they'll take the shoes, they'll kind of clean them up, and then they'll put them back out there to sell, which is smart because you could use your company like, oh, well, we're just trying to put this stuff in here to recycle. We're going to change it. We're going to redo it, remake it and stuff, and make it into something that'll benefit the world. And, they show those pieces on ABC and all that they'll take all the cans and all this stuff and they'll turn it into something to preserve. They not preserving shit. What these people are doing is they're dumping stuff or they're putting it back out there on the market. Whether it's waste, whether it's shoes, whether it's clothing. And this is why we're in the predicament we in. Now, people are like, well, where are you headed with this? I'm headed to the weather and the economy, the ecosystem. All of that stuff is affected by this bullshit. Because people want to be greedy. People want to take shortcuts. People want to put more money in their pocket. It's like, come on. But this is the way the world works. This is the way it works. But the thing that you ought to pay attention to, they allowed the reporters to put a Bluetooth thing in the shoes. To track it. So my question is this. You got all this technology to track stuff. But yet, when you talk about terrorism or you talk about things that are bad for business or bad for us, you don't use it for that. Okay. But he said this is just wild, bro. What up, Scrub? Yeah, it is, man. So all them shoes that you getting, that you think they recycling, nope. They're taking it and putting it back on the market. So just think about them collecting waste and stuff from chemical plants and all of that stuff. Where do you think they're taking that shit? You think that they're putting it in a safe place? No. They're dumping it in a lake. They're dumping it somewhere that's sitting there, and the chemicals are spreading and tearing up the ozone layer and tearing up different things in the atmosphere. Bruh, our weather is messed up, dog. They are reporting a massive thing, like it's like a massive vortex over Greenland right now. And they said it's gonna trickle down. I told y'all day after tomorrow. But let's stay on point. You got to know where you're taking your stuff to get recycled at. The recycling business is a sham. Okay? It's a sham. They talk about we got to recycle. We got to recycle. Recycle what? It ain't helping the planet. You're basically killing the planet off. You're not recycling anything. What is recycling going to do to save the plant life, to save the animals? See, people not talking about the real thing. Where are all these programs put in place for? They try to tell you, oh, well, we're having this recycling. We're going to help better the world, going to help clean the world up. That's bullshit. Because in communities that are poor or trailer parks, doesn't matter what race you are, wherever the poor sector is, you got trash everywhere, you got bottles everywhere, all type of stuff, right? All type of litter. All of us have been guilty of it, including myself, littering, right? And they take all this money talking about, oh, we're going to put it in helping the economy and all of this crap. It's all BS. They pocketing that money. Some of the stuff that they're recycling, they're putting it back in the market. They're putting it into something else. So you don't even know them recycled bottles of water you drinking and shit. That could have been from the recycle bin. They could just be recycling, putting stuff back in stuff for you to have. You don't know. That's why you got to ask the right questions. So just wanted to bring y'all a little story time, book 2. I'll have something else later. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what you hear, you can donate to the page by going to the description box, hitting that link in the Cash App, donating whatever your heart's desire. Thank y'all for listening. This is the Deezyii Report signing off. Peace.